Hey there everyone, it's Ron and Debbie. We're back for another edition of Ask Ron. Okay, next question is from Spencer Cook, and Spencer is from Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi, okay.
Okay, if a house has some foundation work needed, but it is very livable as is, do we need to fix the foundation before we sell on a lease option?
No, that's a business decision anyway. I lease option them out as is, where is. I don't fix anything. Every once in a while, I'll take the carpet out if it really stinks bad, or do something that's really atrocious and get it fixed. But I've put people in houses needed $25,000 worth of work on. In fact, we just did one of those this past week. So I wouldn't fix it, absolutely not. I'd go out with it as is, but I would give them enough discount. Say the house is worth 80 grand, I probably wouldn't charge them more than about 60, 65 for it, because I'm assuming that you bought it for half of that or less. And so if that's the case, I wouldn't touch it. The general rule around here is the less rehab we do, the more money we make. And I'm sure that applies where you live as well.
Okay, Spencer also has another two-part question.
Okay.
Do you ever let owner keep house up for sale themselves when you get an axe deal in place?
No, absolutely not. If the owner wants to go out and try to sell the house, let them go out and sell a house and call you when it's over. You will not like the way that'll work out. In reality, rarely will they ever do anything if you give them that privilege, but still, all that does is give them an out whenever they feel like it, and I'm not interested in that. There's way too many axe deals out there for us to play these games and make these special concessions. If you got an owner that will not let you do the deal because of that, you got an owner you shouldn't be doing business with to begin.
Okay. Okay, last from Spencer is, when you get a lease option with seller in place with good equity, do you ever put it on MLS to see if you can get a cash buyer?
You would have to have the seller's consent to do that, and probably the seller's signature, because you shouldn't be listing a house you don't own. And boy, the realtor would have a cow if they find out you didn't own the house. So no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not saying I couldn't. I don't know that I ever have, and it's possible with all parties' written consent. And then you can put it on the MLS. But you know, your seller's certainly going to ask you, well, why don't I just put it on the MLS? So you better be prepared with an answer for that one. Truth, if you're trying to cash out of it, you probably need to go sell it yourself. But if there's no other way, then list it with the realtor, as long as all parties agree and sign off. Don't forget the sign off part. What they say is irrelevant if they haven't signed off.
Okay, next is from Matthew Hell from Wisconsin.
Well, I knew Matt would be in there somewhere. And I can't imagine what the temperature is up there this week in Wisconsin.
Freezing, I'm sure.
Matt, just so you know, look how I'm dressed today. I had to turn the air conditioner on in my car to get here. We have the air conditioner blazing in the office here. What do you think it is, Debbie?
I think it's 78.
78 degrees today. Eat your heart out. and let us know if you need for us to help you find a house down here in Florida, Matt.
That's
and all the rest of you listening as well. You guys know you don't have to live up there, don't you? All right, next question.
Okay, Matthew's question is, Ron, have you ever optioned a property for a franchise or chain restaurant?
No.
Okay. End of
No,
end of question.
What else to say?
Okay. Okay, next is from Malene St. Pierre. Okay, Malene is looking for an attorney in Orlando. Can you recommend a group?
A group?
A group of attorneys.
Well, you know, I have to insert here that when people ask me, how do you find a good attorney? We say, get a shovel and start digging, but that's not the answer you're looking for. No, I'm in Jacksonville, Malene, and you won't have any trouble finding attorneys in Orlando. Just ask Orlando investors. If you're a member of one of the Orlando groups, the real estate groups, there's tons of people in there. In fact, there's probably attorneys right in there that you want to use. And if they are real estate attorneys and they are in that group, that's the people you want to use. Ask realtors. They'll all lead you to a good real estate attorney. I mean, you can find one in 10 minutes. Just make a call or two. And no, I wouldn't recommend anybody to you in Orlando because I don't do deals down there.
Okay, she also had this one other question. Can I use Foreclosure Homes to do wholesaling deals?
I assume you mean bank-owned properties, and of course that's what we use for wholesale deals. I'm not sure we understand that question correct, because I don't know what other homes you would use. We get some FSBOs occasionally, but most of the properties we buy are bank-owned foreclosures right through the MLS in the all-cash side of the business. If that's not the question, the answer to the question you asked, rephrase that a little bit differently so we can maybe get a little clarity.
Okay, another question from Matthew Hell. He says his brother He and his brother are making a website like yours. Can we name it All Clear Home Sellers? Would that cause any flags to go up with realtors?
Well, I don't spend my life worrying about flags with realtors. They have no bearing on my life or my business. I don't need their permission to do anything. And B, I don't know why I would. You can name your website anything you want as long as it's not already taken. Just don't put the word realty in your website because that indicates you have a license. And don't put the words, I will sell your house on your website because we don't sell houses for people. We sell houses that we have under contract of some sort. We're selling them for ourselves. So don't use those words and don't look like a realtor, and you shouldn't get any flack at all from realtors.
So home sellers might raise a
Home
flag.
sellers not a problem.
Okay, that's what he was.
As
That's
long
what he
as
was thinking.
it's clear you're selling your own homes, or you don't have to tell the world that I only have them under contract. I don't own them, but you do have to have them under contract, or you can't sell them. Don't forget that, all of you. You cannot be selling other people's houses unless you have them under contract to buy or lease or option and have an equitable interest in them. If you do, you're acting as a realtor without a license. Now, of course, that applies to the non-licensed people watching.
Okay, next we have a couple of questions from Karen Kelly.
Karen is from?
She did not say. Hi, Mr. LeGrand. I hope all is well with you. I am looking for an awesome lead source for commercial leads which are 30 to 90 days in default. Do you have a specific one you might refer me to?
No, I don't. But imagine you can find all the properties you want on loopnet.com. And in my commercial bootcamp manual, I've got about 3 pages of websites, which escape me right now, but there's websites for about every type of property you want. And there's mountains of websites for defaulted commercial property. Just go on Google and pull up commercial property websites, and I promise you, you'll get a bunch of them.
Okay, she's got another question also. She's looking for private financing for note buying. These notes are for commercial owners who want to keep their properties and need bridge financing until they can repair damaged credit and refinance at a discount. Can you advise?
The only place you're going to get those is from individuals, just like you get private money for houses. It's no different. So somebody's got to get out there and find the people who want to get a higher rate of return for their money and make them an offer that they can't refuse. There is no source you're going to go to for that. Now, I can tell you right now from hard experience, there's an awful lot of companies that advertise they'll do this type of bridge funding. But here's a very easy warning flag for you. The minute they ask you to send them a check, you better run. Don't walk, run. There is zero chance that they're going to close a loan for you when they charge you an upfront fee. How do you think I know this? That's about $250,000 lesson there for your information over a period of 3 or 4 years. Not one company that I paid an upfront fee for ever came to the table with money. And do not let them trick you into that. That is the biggest scam in the commercial industry, and that is those folks who make all these promises and charge all these big fees that they're going to get you all this money and deliver absolutely nothing. Come to Commercial Property Boot Camp and I'll give you a whole bunch of war stories on that one. So there are no sources that you're looking for that you can just pick up the phone and get bridge funding like that for private individuals, especially on commercial property, if the individual is in personal trouble. It's not going to happen. Some individual has got to go solicit individuals who want to get a higher rate of return to make it worth their while and collateralize them well, or they're not going to get that money. And by the way, I don't know why you're looking for that money anyway. That's not the best use of your time unless it happens to be your property that you're trying to fund.
Okay, last question today, Ron, is from Randy King, and Randy's from Alabama.
Alabama. Okay.
Hey, Ron, the convention was great.
Thank you, sir.
You mentioned at the convention that it is difficult to take title in a land trust on a bank-owned property.
No, I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all. I don't know what you heard. Was it Randy?
It is Randy.
No, I don't know what you heard, Randy, but that's not true. What I said was that whatever name you put on the contract is the name you have to take title in. I take title in bank-owned properties and land trust every time I do it. But I make the offer in ABC Corp as trustee. And then I take the title using their deed, but then we fill out a trust agreement when we get ready and put it in our filing cabinet. So we take title in a land trust. But again, you can't change the name on the top of the contract.
Okay, very good. Well, that's it for this week, Ron.
All right, guys. Hey, just a tip before you go. First of all, you missed one outrageous convention. Sorry if you weren't there. Oh, you're hearing about it already. It was a fabulous convention. We gave away a ton of money, gave away my truck, then I bought it back. By the way, we're getting that video out there. I want you guys to see the video where I bought the truck back.
That went out in Fridays weekly.
Okay, good, good. Watch that, baby. That's kind of cool. She got a good deal. She went home with a big check. I got my truck back. I didn't want to give it up. so anyway,
We know not to make the next one as pretty.
oh, well, I don't know. In fact, we're talking right now about giving away the truck at the next convention in January of next year in Orlando. So, two things. Number one, set aside January the 22nd through the 6th of next year, because that's when our convention is going to be again in Orlando. But also, do not make plans for July 4th. We got a surprise coming for you. We're going to have a deal on July 4th. And I'm not going to tell you where it's at right now, but you're going to like the location. Coming soon. Stay tuned.